Alright, in this video we are going to look at factoring trinomials where the number in front of the x squared is not 1. Like in the last section we factored polynomials like that. In this section we are moving from ones like this into looking at trinomials like that. And to factor those, there are a couple of different ways of doing it. We'll show you two different ways. In this video, we'll just show you what I call the guess and check method. In the next one, we have this AC method. I guess the book calls this one the FOIL method, but it's basically guess and check. So last time we had those that had a 1 in front. Now we've got a different number in front. In order to do them, factor them, we have to use a different method. So initially, I guess when you're taking a look at this, if it is of the form x squared x in a number, it must have come from two binomials, and you can maybe guess at what those first numbers could be. Like if you're getting 3x squared at the front, that's what comes from multiplying this term by this term. So like you have to have an x there and an x there. That'll get you an x squared. To get a 3, I guess your only option is to put a 3 there and a 1 there. Now, and that's for the first term. But then we've got to fill in this other stuff over here. So I have a plus 4. So do I put a plus 4 there and a plus 1 there? Or maybe I should put a plus 2 here and a plus 2 here. Or maybe I should put a plus 1 there and a plus 4 there. And so when you're doing this guess and check or the FOIL method, that's something that you have to do. And you find that you quickly become good at multiplying or using the distributive property twice on these to check to see if your answers are correct. And that's something I said on this slide here, is that when you're checking your factoring, that's a critical thing you need to do for every question. Now, for example, if I have this polynomial and I want to factor it, so I know it's got x squared x in a number, so I know it probably came from two brackets like that, where I've got an x squared or an x term, number. I've just written down here on the side all of the actual different options that you could take. So to get 6x squared, you could go 3x times 2x, or 6x times x. Those are basically the only options you could do. To get the 15, you could go 5 times 3, or 3 times 5. Notice that in this case here, because these numbers out front are different, putting a 5 here and a 3 there is different than putting a 3 there and a 5 there. So those are two different factors there. Like you look at them and they're different. So I could do a 5, 3, or I could do a 1 and a 15. Notice also I haven't put any negative numbers here because both these signs are negative. We've got negative ones coming up. One thing I've found when I'm doing this though is that often the questions, and not always, and this is just a tip, it's just a general guideline, is they often, rather than going for the extreme numbers like for 6, rather than going 6 times 1, so the smallest and biggest numbers, they often go for the middle ones. Like for 6, often they go 3 and 2 instead of the 6 and 1. Same thing with the 15. Rather than going with 15 and 1, they might go with 3 and 5. Now again, it's just a tip. It may or may not work out that way. Like you might have 6x plus 15 and x plus 1. Those could turn out to be your factors for this here. But often they do the middling one. So these are your options, and what I would do is now just check and see what you come up with. I know for sure that I'm getting 6x squared and 15 because I've sort of set it up that way. The product of these two is 6x squared. The product of those two is 15. It's really only that middle term I'm having to worry about. So let's try it. So this would be 6x squared plus 9x. So plus 9x plus another 10x. 9 plus 10 is 19. Can't be this one. Let's try this one. 6x squared Yeah. Plus 15x. Yeah. Plus 6x. 15 and 6 is 21. Can't be that one. I wonder if it's any of these. Okay, 6x squared. That'd be 30. That's too many. 18. I don't think it's any of these. Yeah, I think that number there should have been a different number. That one actually doesn't work. That's okay. Let's go on to the next one. Hopefully you're getting the idea. I guess that's a good point to make there, is that sometimes you get a trinomial that doesn't have factors, nice easy factors, and we have another tool that we'll show you later how we could solve or factor something like that. Okay, let's try this one. 2x squared minus x minus 15. So, to get the 2x squared, I'd have to have a 2x and an x. To get the negative 15, I could do negative 15 and 1 or positive 15 and negative 1, but typically they're going to take the middle ones, right? So 3 and negative 5 or negative 3 and positive 5. That multiplies to negative 15. So let's maybe try, I don't know, let's try negative 3 and positive 5. Okay, so 2x squared, 2x times that's minus 6x. 5 times x is a positive 5x. That times that, of course, is minus 15. It's these I got to worry about, though. Down 6, I gain 5. That would be negative 1x. And I have a minus 15 out back and a 2x squared out front. And that's what I have here. Therefore, I'm correct there. That would be the factor of this one. Let's try some more. And I just want to try a bunch and see how they work. Okay, 12x squared. Again, we're guessing and checking. So 12x squared, I'm probably saying 4x and 3x. And then 5 would probably be 5 and 1. So maybe let's try, I don't know, a plus 5 here and a minus 1 there. So 12x squared. Again, I'm just guessing. 4x times 5 is plus 20x. Minus 1 times 3 is a minus 3x. Minus 1 times 5 is a minus 5. I look at the middle here and I get positive 17. Oh, I got a 17 but not a minus. So maybe the best thing to do here then, I know this one doesn't work, but maybe it's just the signs. So let's change this 4x plus 1 and 3x minus 5. 12x squared again. This time I get minus 20x and a plus 3x. And if I add those together, I get minus 17. This is our one right there. Okay. So this work here, it's good work. It's nice to show that, but it wasn't the correct factor of that. But at least it helped me find what the correct factor is. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, let's use our middling thing again. So instead of doing 6x and x, I'm going to 3x and x. And then I got to go 2 things that multiply to 2. So, I don't know, 2 and 1. They're all positive there, so make both of these positive. 3x squared plus 6x plus another x. Hey, that's 7. That's our one right there. Got it. Let's try another one. Okay, 3x squared. I'm going to separate that into a 3x and an x. And then the 20, 4 and 5 probably. So let's try. Oh no, this one's positive, so they're both the same sign. They're both negative. So I'll put a negative there and a negative 5 here. Let's see what we get. 3x squared, yeah. Minus 15x minus another 4x. That's minus 19. Aha! Fluked out again. I like it when I get it first time. Ooh, I don't like this one. Oh, it's not in the right order. Let's fix the order. So minus 6x squared minus x plus 2. There's a minus out front. We don't like that. Let's factor a minus 1 out of everything. So this one changes now to a positive 6x squared, a positive x, and a minus 2. Okay, now let's factor that. So I always have a minus 1 out front. 6x, let's try our middling thing, so a 3x and a 2x. And I'm not discounting, it could be a 6x and an x, but this is what I'm going to try first. Okay, and then, I don't know, let's try I've got to get to 2. So maybe, well, minus 2. So maybe a minus 2 and a positive 1. Let's try that. So this would be 6x squared minus 6x plus 2x. What do I get with that? Minus 4x. No, that's not it. Darn. Let's try another one. So this is wrong too. So a 3x and a 2x. Maybe let's switch these around. So let's put a minus 2 here and a plus 1 over there. 6x squared plus 3x minus 4x. That's a minus x. Oh, shoot, I get a plus x. Oh, okay. All I have to do is change the sign. So this one's wrong again, but I'm sure that this next one will be right. So it'll be 3x plus 2 and 2x minus 1. Let's just see what we come up there. I'm hoping to get a negative x. So 6x squared minus 3x plus 4x. Down 3, gain 4, I'll be up 1. And what do they have? Up 1. That's the one right there. So here is my answer. This part here I was just checking. Okay? Hopefully you're getting the feel for doing these. You'll want to try a bunch from the textbook. I'll give you another couple, but you want to try lots in the text just to help you out. Okay, here's ones where they include A's and B's, but we did those in the last section. They just sort of like tag along those letters. Okay, so let's try and factor it. So 6a squared, probably splitting that into a 3a and a 2a. And then this b, that's 1b, right? So I'd put plus 1b here and plus 1b over there. So 6a squared plus 3ab plus 2ab, right? Because you're multiplying. 1 times 2 is 2ab. 3 and 2 give me a positive 5. Well, they want a minus 5. Oh, so we would just, I forgot that rule. If this one's positive, signs have to be the same, and they both have to be negative. So I should have gone 3a minus b and 2a plus b. Let's just confirm. 6a squared. Okay, this will be a positive 3ab. Oh, no. They're supposed to be both negative. Okay, 6a squared minus 3ab minus another 2ab and plus b squared. The first term and the last term I always get right. It's just this middle one to see whether it comes out right. This one does come out right. That's my answer. Okay, one last one. Ooh, this one looks good. So hopefully I'll get it on the first go. 6x squared, I'll try 3x and 2x. 9y squared, I'm going to try 3 and 3, hey? So plus 3y here, plus another 3y there. 6x squared, plus 9xy, plus 6xy, plus 9y squared. Yeah, I always get the first two, right? Now let's check. 9 plus 6, 15. Ha, first time. Notice that there's what you're doing with this method. You are just getting really good at foiling, multiplying first, outer, inner, and last terms. And you're foiling that all the time just to check to see if your factors are correct. We'll see in the next video where there's an actual method that you can use, so there's no guessing. You just come out with the right answer all the time. The only issue with it is there's just a few little tricky steps that you have to worry about. But it's sort of your choice which way you like to do it. This way is sort of how I learned. I didn't ever learn the second way. Well, I learned how to do it, but this is how I learned how to do it. And I became very good at guessing, checking. And so some students love this way, some students love the other way. just sort of feel which one's best for you.